Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. This is something that is going to be very, very gladdening to the hearts of most Nigerians, because the Federal Road Safety Corps has decided to do something differently that will make our lives easier. Nigeria has decided to develop a robust and reliable vehicular database to boost national security and road safety through the introduction of new number plates under the National Uniform Licensing Scheme. Now, what does that mean? The Lagos State Sector Commander of the Road Safety, Mr. Hyginus Omeje, is here to explain it all to us. Good morning, Mr. Omeje.
Good morning, Alero.
Thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you very much.
You had a very busy morning. You had a very busy morning.
Yes. Since 5 a.m.
How did you get here?
No, I came with the official car. I drove in because the road had been opened. We're only contending with the backlog.
Oh, the truck has been removed?
The truck has been removed. What actually happened was around 5:10 a.m. this morning, a Toyota Camry ran into a container carrying truck from behind, and
was it
lost
stationary?
control. No, it was not. It was moving.
Oh.
It was actually moving. The man sighted the Camry behind the way he was coming, and knew that something was wrong. He said that the guy is under the influence of a substance or something like that, and he didn't want that man to really enter under him, so he took his hand off, and because he was on container, the thing just gave in, and and the man crashed to the left. The Camry eventually crashed to the left while he fell to the right, and the road was just blocked. But thank God for our sister agencies like Lasema. Well, we called them also. They came with their crane and were able to remove it. So that period of stoppage in traffic because of people early morning rush out of Lagos going to all over the parts of the country just caused that great luck. But it's open.
Okay. Yeah. Now, to the number plates. Tell us about these number plates. Are they new number plates?
We don't have new number plates per se.
Okay.
Recall that in September 2011, September 2nd to be precise, 2011, we switched over to a new numbering system in our number plate, where you now have the local government code coming before the number, then the alphabet that we use to generate those. Remember, we are operating the alphanumeric system. There's the alphabets and the numbers, and we used to have the local government at the end, while the first two alphabets that we used to generate those codes, those numbers are at the front. So in September, we had to change it for some reasons, which is that as a law enforcement agent, when you want to pick the number of a vehicle, if you look at everything in our the local government code is very important. But that local government code was at the end.
Okay.
So at times you pick AA, you get 1, 2, 3 before you could get the real local government code, which is what you would need to be able to trace the vehicle. All the local governments in Nigeria, by the 446 local governments, I think, they all have code. 776, rather. They all have codes. Now, those codes are unique to every local government. So if I get the local government code and I get the number, I am already close to what we are looking for. And I know the state, which is boldly written. So we had to change the lettering in that order. Now, when we changed it, we said, okay, let people keep on using it, but both the old and the new. But as you are buying your vehicle, you are changing to the new. Then those of us that have already registered in the old system, please, when you are renewing your license, you renew to the new.
Okay.
Now, that was much expressed by the Joint Tax Board in their communique that they released on the 28th of November 2016. Because somebody, initially we said everybody should just change. And I said, no, it will be unfair to people whose driver's license, vehicle license had not expired. Because I know there were court issues on this. Somebody went to court to challenge, why must I change when my vehicle license have not expired? The court gave ruling, okay, we appealed, because the person was even saying we did not even have the statutory right to even determine what his number plate should be and all those stuff. And we appealed it, and we got a judgment. And in that judgment, it was like, look, if somebody's vehicle license has not expired, telling him to change is like double taxation.
Yep.
So please, it should be that if your vehicle license expires, as you are changing, you change to it. Then JTB echoed it in their communique in 2016. So please, let it be this way. We have not gotten any other court judgment saying otherwise. Now, what we started in 2011, we felt that by now, anybody who is a law-abiding citizen should have actually changed. So what brought all the whole furore recently is just because we felt, look, you have not changed your distance to where you should be, and we know you've been renewing your driver's license, except if your vehicle license, except if you have not been renewing your vehicle license. And if you are not also renewing your vehicle license, you are also violating, because you are evading tax. It's a road tax, so to say. So, and some people went to this social media writing FRSC this and FRSC that. We needed to clarify the air. And the national headquarters said, okay, I think to be fair on all sides, and what we will now do is, if we get you have not changed, we give you an advisory slip. Okay. An advisory slip, by way of advisory enforcement, is we take all your details and give you that slip that as you are renewing your vehicle license, please renew to the new.
The new number plate.
Good. Okay. With the database we have, when we give you advisory slip, we go back again and impute it. The next time we get you in that distance and we go through it and we discover that we have given you this advisory slip before, we now know that there is you are now a willful offender. Let me put it that way.
So the cost of the renewal hasn't changed from what it was before?
No.
Because I think some people were concerned about the cost of renewal.
I think it has not changed. And let me be honest with you. Everything about the issue of the costing, as determined by the JTB, you know that we are not even involved in the sales per se. It is the motor licensing authorities that are in charge of all those aspects of it. What has always varied the cost of number plates from state to state has always been the law of demand and supply. That's
okay, the states determine this.
In various, there is an approved JTB fee for all categories of number plates. But it varies from state to state because of other documents that are attached to it. You cannot register your number plate in isolation with your vehicle license. So there is also a fee for vehicle license, which you also have to impute into the cost of the plate. There is also a fee for your certificate of insurance, because as you are doing it, your insurance papers is also changing, your vehicle license is changing. If it's a commercial vehicle, your hackney permit, your roadworthiness certificate, they must bear the same number. And that's why we're also saying that when you are renewing these documents, it should be such that you are renewing to the new, so that all of them will be uniform.
Okay, so commercial vehicles are the ones with the red.
Correct.
And then the normal ones are either blue or black. Am I correct?
Blue, yeah.
Yes.
No, but it's blue or black.
Some are black.
Blue, private, you get it on blue.
Okay.
Red on commercials. Okay. Then when you go to armed forces and this, you see black.
Oh.
Okay, security, paramilitary.
Good.
Okay, now tell us, what exactly is the benefit of this new number plate?
Okay. It enhances our security in terms of having a data for who did what at what point in time.
Okay.
All the crimes that are committed today in Nigeria, it doesn't matter whatever. You notice that the road mode is still the most frequent use by everybody. Now, you kidnap, you take a vehicle, or you do whatever. That vehicle must have an identity, because the number plate is like the identity of a vehicle.
Okay.
We call it, actually, the normal professional term is vehicle identification number plate. That is what you use to identify this vehicle. And the new number we came up with is now tied to the individual and no longer tied to the vehicle, as in the old. Because if you say something, you are changing something, you must have an inherent advantage. Today, we have numbers that are now tied to individuals. If a lady is registering her vehicle, she registers it in her name and everything. And when you decide to sell, please remove that number, return it to the local, the licensing office. And if he is going to now is the one that bought your vehicle, he too should go to the licensing office